Good morning. It's the LifeSongs morning show. I'm Josh, and on Zoom with us today, we've got Tasha Layton. Tasha, welcome to LifeSongs.
Hello, nice to have you.
So you were up in Nashville. We're down here in New Orleans, but
Yep.
together we're going to have some fun this morning. Okay.
Okay, let's do it.
Now, you've got a new album out called How Far. You've got the new song, which we'll get to in a little while, but just so you know, it is currently my wife's favorite song on repeat constantly. I came home the other day and she's like, who sings How Far? I'm like, what are you talking about? I just got home. But it's awesome. But
Oh,
let's
I'm so glad.
let's talk about another one of your awesome songs first. Look What You've Done was great. We played it nonstop on Life Songs, still do. And we're going to play a game that I've made up called Look What You've Done. Okay.
Oh my gosh, this is so exciting.
Here are the rules. You just have to tell us if you have done or not done something. I'm going to give you a run at some scenarios. Okay.
Okay.
Look what you've done. Ordered anchovies on pizza.
No.
Never done it.
Nope.
Skydived or skydove.
Yes, I have been skydiving
No way. Really?
multiple times. Yeah.
Why? What in the world would compel you to do
So
something?
I went in Australia on the Gold Coast because it was supposed to be like beautiful, and it was, and I loved it so much. Then I went in Dubai, and then because we were at the World Skydiving Competition. You can't make this up,
No, you
okay?
can't.
And so I got to go then, and then I took Keith when we were dating. And so I love skydiving, but I don't do it anymore now that I have kids.
What an incredible way to find out how committed a guy is
Yeah.
in dating. Like, you married him, obviously, but like, if will you jump out of a plane with me?
Yeah,
That's
I also
commitment.
scuba dive, so he had to get his scuba diving certification too to hang out with me.
Wow. You've done a lot. Let's get back to look what you've done. Have you ever
Okay,
put a red sweater in an all white load of laundry?
I have put a red towel in lighter clothes and stained them all. Yes.
Have you ever been on a nationally televised singing competition?
Yes, I have. American Idol, 9
Who
or
was your
10.
who was your favorite judge?
Ah, Simon. I
Yeah.
loved him. He was so great. He was so nice to me. And I loved Ellen DeGeneres was my guest judge, and I really liked her too.
We love Ellen. She's from New Orleans.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mhm. Her
That's
her
awesome.
brother, who looks exactly like her, can often be seen wandering around town. It's very confusing.
Oh, that's really funny. I love New Orleans. I love a good beignet. Woo.
Nice. Have you ever traveled to Europe?
Yes.
Have you done the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme song for a mic check?
Yes.
Thank you. I feel like that should be the standard mic check for anyone.
That's a staple, actually. Yeah. Definitely done that.
All right. Have you ever sang backup for an artist formerly known as Katie Hudson?
Yes, I have. I sang for Katy Perry for 4 years. So she is an amazing person. I'll say that. She's amazing.
That's well politically spoken. All right. So you've been skydiving. You're a scuba diver. Have you ever bungee jumped?
Yes, I have multiple times, but I will not do that again because the last time I really didn't enjoy it. I was scared, and I realized I bungee jumped off the Auckland Bridge in New Zealand, and I just felt scared, and I thought, you know what? I don't want to do this again. So I've never done it since.
See, the difference between you and me is when I visit a beautiful place, I immediately think, well, let's try some of their food. And you're like,
Yeah.
I should jump off of something.
I should jump off of a building. I've never base jumped. That's one thing that I have not done.
Ooh,
I think I've done everything else.
have you
Yeah.
hang glided?
Yes, and I've done the like the crazy ATVs in the desert and rafting and like the high level rafting, and I yeah, I just I've never base jumped though. That's on
All
the
right.
list. But I'm not going to do that, I don't think.
So Tasha Layton is a combination of Indiana Jones and a Mountain Dew commercial.
I love that. I love that description. I almost didn't get life insurance because you have to fill out the forms of everything that you've done. And I had, filled out the form, and you can't lie because, it's fraud. And so I filled out all this stuff, and I got a call, the next week, and they were like, "Hey, we just want to check on your application because you literally checked every single box." And they said, "Do you still do these things?" And I was like, "No, that was a different time in life. I have kids now. I've settled down. But it was in underwriting for maybe 4 or 5 months before they gave me life insurance.
Oh, man. I'm not going to ask about hidden tattoos, but I'm convinced that you've got some. Anyway,
I do have a tour tattoo. So when I finished tour with Katy, she brought in a tattoo artist, and every tour she gets a tour tattoo. And so we all have tour tattoos on our ankles. So I do have one of those.
ooh, have you met Left Shark?
Yes. Yes. So I lived on a bus with Left Shark for 3.5 years.
That's wild. That's
Yeah.
awesome. All right. So that concludes Look What You've Done. And the answer
I
is
love
Tasha has
that.
done everything.
Yeah. That's
All right. So
amazing.
let's talk about How Far, your new album. How do you get out of your head, avoid the whole sophomore slump thing, and just kind of get into the mindset of creating new music, because it's excellent.
Yeah. I think you just can't put that pressure on yourself, like the sophomore slump thing. I mean, I'm not going to say it doesn't cross your mind, like when you come out with something that does well per se, and then you're afraid, what if the next thing doesn't or whatever. You can't live like that. You can't live under that pressure, and you just have to let creativity have its way, and trust that God's going to give you what's right for the next season of life. And I am not ignorant enough to think that every song I put out is going to go over well. Like, that's just not a way to live. You can't live under that pressure. So you just have to follow the Holy Spirit every day, and just be obedient, and hear what He has to say and lean in. I think my husband and I are leaning in on a lot of different things in life right now, and just saying, you know what? It's not our will, but yours be done. Our lives are not our own, and you just have to um, give it up and release control, and just let Him do what He's gonna do, because He's all got it worked out. He's amazing like that. That's God. That's who He is.
That is the best answer to that question I've ever heard, and the most faithful and faith-filled one too. So I love
Yeah.
that you're taking your spiritual walk into this artistic pursuit, because I mean it really is all about what Jesus has called you to do.
That's right. And you know what? There might be a day that He says, stop touring and stop doing this. And then I'll say yes, because His plans are perfect, and His will is wonderful and fruitful, and a beautiful, safe place to be for a human being. And so I trust Him. We got a lot of history. I got a lot of history with Jesus. And so I trust Him.
That's beautiful and awesome. Can you give us a story behind the song How Far?
Yeah, we were literally sitting around. It was me and my husband, Keith Smith, and Matthew West and AJ Prius. And we were sitting around just talking about what God had done in our lives, and literally just in a spirit of gratitude, thinking about everything He had done. And my husband just said something so sweet. He said, "Just think about how far God's love would go for you." And as soon as he said it, it was like electricity in the room. Like, we're like, That's definitely the song. This is definitely the idea we need to chase." And so the song flowed, it just came out. And it's really kind of a cross between the story of the prodigal son in the New Testament, and in Psalms, when David says, "There's nowhere I can flee from your presence." I think there's a lot of times when we think that God's grace is going to somehow run out, that we've screwed up enough to where He's not going to give us His best, or bless us, and that's just not the way it works. And so there's no place you can go that's too far from Him being able to get to you and rescue you.
Mm, that's awesome. I'm Josh with the LifeSongs Morning Show. We're talking with Tasha Layton this morning on Zoom. Tasha, you have an incredible singing career that has really taken off and being very fruitful. How Far is exceptional. I can't wait to see how many lives that's going to touch. But you also have a young family. You've got younger children. What are some of the dreams and goals that you and your husband Keith have set aside for that part of life? Not just the professional side, but as a family.
I think we have, this is going to sound kind of funny, but on our bucket list, there's not much left on mine because I really did knock out a lot of that stuff earlier in life. But on the bucket list is a wraparound porch.
Mm.
And I think the reason that we want a wraparound porch in some form or fashion is to be able to sit in some old people rocking chairs on the porch and watch our kids play and just be there in that moment. It represents something for us. And so um, just enjoying them and enjoying life.
That's a good thing to want. I mean, I'm in that
Yeah.
similar stage of life where I understand, but I think
Mhm.
I think everyone can relate to that.
Yeah,
That's
for
beautiful.
sure.
All right. So Tasha, drop a truth bomb. What is one thing, just one thing that God has been revealing to you that might inspire the Life Songs family?
Just don't take yourself so seriously. just just let go. Don't stress out so much. God's got it and he's got you. And just calm down and remember what he's done in your life so far, that he's not going to leave you and he's not going to leave you hanging, that he has your best interest in mind, and that's not going to be like this forever. Just hold on.
Okay, Tasha, you misunderstood. I told you to talk to the Life Songs family, not directly to me. That was,
I'm talking to myself too.
yeah, that was perfect. Thank you.
Good, good. God is good all the time. This is Tasha Layton on Uplifting Life Songs.